do you think we're going to have a ton of movies and TV shows and books with this Groundhog Days type of theme? Because
especially with the COVID thing. Yes.
Yeah, it just.
That's what I'm saying. Like
that's what we're doing right now.
I saw Groundhog's Day like not too long ago, and it's 100% like we are going through it. Where it's just like you're just living your freaking day, one day at a time, and you're doing the exact same shit because we can't go fucking anywhere.
But I don't know. Even in our old life, 2019.
Well,
wasn't there some Groundhog Day type of feeling then too?
Well, yes, except that's what you have. It's basically you have it's either two things. It's either you have the weekend constantly on hand, because you're not going anywhere or anything like that, or it's just like everything just feels like a weekday. But there's no differential of the two, where it's like, because there's a difference between like the week, like in a normal life, we have the weekend and everything, which is like you go to this shit job for like about 5 days of a week, you hate your freaking life. And then the weekend happens, you're like, oh, yay, I can drink and be an alcoholic and everything's happy. And then I just reset my happy button, and then all of a sudden the next week, by the time Sunday rolls around, Sunday night, you're like, fuck, I gotta go to work. Okay, but I can tolerate it. And that's how people work and stuff. And we're just like, yes, there's a version of Groundhog Day where we're just repeating the same pattern over and over again, but we had enough of a differential where we didn't really feel it. Nowadays, it's like weekend and weekdays have blended in with each other. So it's just basically like every day just feels like this work from home day.
Every day is exactly the same.
Pretty much. And it's either like,
there is no rubber and there is no rubber.
Is there a, like, let's put it this way, like if you have a sick day from work and stuff, like, do you really even feel it now? Like, I have like I used to take sick days, like mental days, off all the time. Now
it's like,
what's the point of it? Because I'm gonna be sitting in front of a fucking computer or in front of something electronic.
Yeah, I'm gonna be in this other room now on my sick day.
Yeah, like that's it. It's pretty much like I'm either just gonna like hang out and play PlayStation like all fucking day, but I might as well just like act like I'm working or something like that, or just like monitor this shit. Be responsible. But it feels exactly the same because I'm still in the same room.
Yeah.
I'm still in the same household. I can't really leave per se. I'm not supposed to leave per se, but
no, but it's like you're trapped.
Yeah.
But then there's people getting evicted, and you're like, well, I'm glad I have some place to be trapped. And then I don't know if it's like a shame cycle. You know, it's like, I hate that I'm stuck here forever, but then you look at the news and there's so many people, like evictions are going to be on the rise because people are going to get fucked.
Yeah.
And stimulus money, that's up in the air. So it's kind of like, I'm in a comfortable mess. I'm in a comfortable sadness where other people are in, I don't know what's happening tomorrow type of sadness. And that's, I don't know, be grateful, I guess. But then you can't, and I don't know. It's back and forth.
You're feeling whatever your Paso-in feels, and here's what I'm saying.
I feel something that the entire fucking town feels.
Well, a lot of the.
Am I queen of that town?
You're not. You could be.
Yeah.
You could be, but we closed down that club a long time ago.
Man.
Sorry.
No, it was a Pakistani shack, and that's gone.
God, dude. I'm not gonna lie to you, I had the best Indian food in El Paso, man. It's freaking great.
They have rump roast, if you know what I mean. Solid wink.
No, that was Prince Machiavelli strip club. That's where they had the best rump roast. Where are they?
And then, and how was their buffet?
Not that great.
Oh. Welcome to the All Regerts podcast, a podcast about regrets. I will be your host, Sam Narani, with my co-host, Omar Gonzalez.
Here's the reason why I say you feel what every Pasoan feels. It's because one of the reasons that El Paso gets criticized because we didn't really protest that much, anything, and one of the reasons is because we're next to Juarez, Mexico, and you are like, okay, we're in a shitty situation, yes, and even that's saying before COVID, we're just like, okay, we don't have a lot of jobs, you're not making that much money.
Fucking shooting that happened.
But here's the thing. Well, you have the shooting that happened.
That wasn't that long ago, dude.
No, that wasn't. And like the anniversary is coming up right now.
Yeah.
The
1 year.
Almost 2 weeks now. And everything. That anniversary is going to come up and everything. And that's going to have like a lot of emotions, a lot of feelings in that particular town and stuff. But having said that, you have Juarez that's right across the river, and the amount of shit that goes on there. And like a kind of like a daily basis and everything, especially with gun violence and especially with people being murdered, killed, and extreme poverty. When you see something like that, you're just like, fuck. I know my life sucks. I know it may not be the best right now, but fuck, I'm on this side of the river though. I
got lucky here.
I got lucky being here. I tell people all the time, if I was born 2 miles south, my life could be completely different. And how they changed. There's a reason why, like, every time that one of my aunties got pregnant, they lived with us. And basically, they had their anchor baby. And then they came back, and then they went back to Mexico to go live there. And for the longest time, like...
And that way, your baby could have an option.
Yeah.
When it gets older.
That's what I'm saying. Like, because if you were born in Mexico, and you try... I had this one friend of mine named Chantel, that she was like probably one of the smartest people that I've ever met and everything. Like I've always said this, like within my accounting draft class, like if we had like a draft class and everything, like I would probably be like a late first rounder. Like I'm smart, but I'm not like the smartest. But I always said that like Cesar was like number one because he was like the smartest of all of us and everything. Like he was super got everything concept wise and everything. Now he works at PwC, him and his wife Valeria. And everything. I went to their wedding. It was pretty fun and stuff down in Mexico. And then when like second was like Chantal, and she was very smart, very beautiful, very like a lot of things. The problem is that she was born in Mexico, and the reason she didn't get a lot of job offers before was because you have to be sponsored by employers.
Yep.
And
what is it, N91 or something? It's like a visa.
Yeah. And that shit can cost.
No, that's a mask.
What do you mean?
Sorry, I was thinking N95 masks.
No.
No, it's that work visa.
Yeah, the work visa. That's something like that's the thing. You have to be sponsored, and it sucks because like when you don't live in America and you live out of the country, you have to find an employer that will freaking sponsor your fucking visa. We had back at UTEP, we had this one person named Mary, and she was from Mexico. And this is how I know that like how much we have to fucking pay. We had to pay $6,000 to fucking sponsor this girl and everything out of our budget, $6,000, and she had to pay like her portion too, just so that she can freaking be sponsored. Eventually, she got married to like a person, but to like a U.S. citizen, and now she has like residency and everything. But yeah, that shit sucks. But we see all that right now. We're just like, and it's more like. It humbles you. It's 100% humble you. Where just like you could 100% like there's like a nice mountain spot that I like to be at UTEP and I like to overlook like everything. And you can kind of like see like
is it that Trans Mountain?
Yeah, Scenic Drive.
Yeah,
Scenic Drive. Well, that's one spot.
We napped there.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, but there's another spot where you can like literally sit down and just watch over Juarez. Because if you're at the UTEP campus, there's like a spot there that you just sit down, and I used to always park there and just like look on the overview, and yeah, you can see like on the left side you see like all the historic houses and everything, or like El Paso and that, and then like on the right side you see like the houses that people live in Juarez, and like sometimes a lot of that shit is not pretty to look at. I mean, they're like all cement walls. You could tell some of them are cracking. There's like one house I used to see before, and it was like built out of tires and everything, and it's just like you just sit there and you're just like, fuck. Like you look out into what is, and you're just like, shit. If I lived there, and that was my reality, you feel bad, and you're just like, maybe I shouldn't be complaining about all that much about what we have it here. But if we were in any other country, like it would just be, it could be so much more worse. So, and you get that like guilt.
And the craziest thing is, it's like you have zero control where you're born. I could have been born into Trump's family. Yeah. I could have been born into a completely different family than I am now.
It is a crapshoot about like whether you, like I said, where you're born, right? Like that, because it's 100%. Like we could be, well, like I said, we were lucky enough to be born in the United States. Essentially, there is no string or anything about that. Like we are lucky to be here. Now, could we be even luckier and be even born in Canada? Maybe.
Fine.
But then, fine. But then you grow up as a pussy, and it's like, do you really want that?
Girl.
Fuck Canada.
You could grow up being all like, guess what I represent? Oh. I represent Kids in the Hall. And also Tom Green. My bum is on the rail. That was a wonderful musical number, Omar.
Yeah, it's fine.
God.
Or
thank you, Canada.
Or you could just be like Mounties and maple syrup or whatever.
Those things are delicious. And their pants look very comfortable. Those pants look comfortable as fuck.
I guess. Yeah, you go through this humbleness and everything. Even when we got shot up, like that was a big deal for us. That Walmart shooting was a big deal for us and everything. And a lot of people felt it because it's something that not normally happens. But if a shooting like that happened in Juarez, and it has happened like in restaurants and in public places before, especially during 2010, where like a lot of businesses were thriving and everything, and then the cartels started fighting each other and started like going into business. Like we had a dentist there and that worked in like downtown Juarez and stuff, and he had practice in the office and he would see people and everything, and then he was there until one day these guys came in and robbed everybody and just said, hey, you better have more money tomorrow. So he closed up shop and then opened up a new place in El Paso, and he started like doing dental visitations behind, not like
secret ones.
You know how like now like getting a haircut during COVID is kind of like the bad boy thing to do. You know, we have like hairstylists visit your house.
Bad boy dumbass. Hell yeah.
To cut your hair and everything.
Don't even wear a mask here. We're so bad.
Yeah.
We're terrible.
Sun's out, hair's out. You know, and stuff like that. Yeah. So basically it's kind of like that, and like you go to downtown. We used to have like a very thriving. Juarez used to be that place you just park downtown El Paso and you should just go over there and you just party and stuff. We had like drink and drown nights where it's basically you pay $10 to a club to get in, and then you get free beer all night. You just get the chug.
I'm sorry. Drink and drown nights?
Drink and drown nights.
Okay.
Where it's like you go across, you get party, you go across the border, and then you basically can go to any club, pay like I think it's like $10 or $15 the cover fee. You go in and they give you free drinks and everything, and it's like you don't have to pay for shit.
What?
Yeah. You just get like Coronas just like given to you constantly.
But we're trying not to get that now.
Yeah. Well, that Mexico allowed you to do crazy shit like that, man. You have the guy that comes over here and just like pours the tequila in your mouth and like shakes your head and stuff, man. It was great. Everything. Well, I've been there a couple times out in Mexico and everything partying, but then once Juarez became like a dangerous type of place, that shit kind of stopped.
That's fair.
Yeah, and it's just more like, okay, this place is going down a bad road, and it's not really doing that great. But you're in El Paso, you're like, oh well, we could be better. Like, we could be like Austin, we could be like Dallas, we could have like big Fortune 5 companies come here. But then it's like, do we really want to fight for that? Or do we really fight quote unquote injustice?
Well,
and everything like, do we really want that? Because we have it pretty good right now. Because it sucks there so much. You see the example like right across from you, and you're like,
Do you feel like this weird tug of war Because it's kind of like an emotional tug of war, right? Like
it's two different stories.
Yeah, on one hand, I'm very grateful for the shit I got because other people don't. But on the other hand, I'm not happy with this.
I don't think a lot of people in the United States and a lot of people who are protesting have ever seen like a third world country.
I don't know, dude. There are parts of America that feel like a third world country. Like you walk around there going during the daylight and you're like, I shouldn't be here right now.
Yeah,
I'm gonna die.
My brother, when I was with my older brother in Washington D.C., he would always just say, "You can go anywhere, just don't take the purple train down to the end. Don't cross the river." He just said that, "Don't cross the river because once you cross the river into that section, that's a bad section of town, and you could, no matter how big you are, you can't not get shot."
Right.
But there is kind of like, and I'm not saying there's not like extensive property or something like that and everything, and. You know, there's some people, like I said, where it's just like, okay, you're fighting. Like, I think like some victories are not what people ask for.
They're victories to placate us.
Have you seen this thing on Twitter where it's just like this video of like this guy who's like had like one of the, like this dude just like basically making fun of wokeness, where it's just like one shirt of a guy that says racist and the other one that says woke, but they basically have the same ideologies and ideas. Everything.
Yeah, it's kind of like how Bill O'Reilly and Bill Maher.
Yeah.
They are two sides of the same fucking coin, dude.
Exactly.
And it's almost like it's Bill O'Reilly, Bill Maher, Black Barbie, White Barbie. There was some Latina Barbie in there too.
Oh, you know, we just called them brat dolls, but all right.
No, yeah, it's like here is a template of something, and we're just gonna give it a couple different faces, but it's basically the same thing, and it's just packaged differently. Mellow Yellow versus Mountain Dew, like it's the same bullshit.
Yeah, because a lot of El Paso was criticized for not protesting a lot of people, but it's like, yeah, but we have it good.
Yeah.
Us and everything because we're reminded about our fucking shitty ass freaking cousin.
Yeah.
And everything. We're just like, look, we could do better, but we're not as bad as that guy. And we're just using that as an excuse to not improve ourselves and everything. But it's a combination of like, because we're cool with what we got and everything. Yeah. We're okay with it and stuff because you still have a house. You have a place where like anybody really there can afford a house. Like the houses there are like $100,000. And such. Like you could 100% have like a $30,000 salary, $40,000 salary, and own a fucking home,
right?
Comfortably, and stuff. That's very different than like somewhere around here, or somewhere there, and somewhere like New York City, Chicago, or anything. It's affordable housing over there,
right?
There, because everything's just so spread out.
But it feels like.
But we do have 100% like a resentment, shame, and guilt because we 100% look across the border and just be like. Yeah, we could be like them. Should we help them out? Nah, we're good.
Yeah, my other people don't have it.
Yeah.
You know?
And a lot of people's solutions, it's like, oh, well, you end up also realizing that eventually, like, hey, I'm lucky to be here, but also don't want them to come here. Because.
What? Why?
A lot of Latino men. A lot of Latino people. Once you get like $50,000 or more, you start a lot of Guillermos start becoming Williams.
Okay, you know that's fair. I've actually worked with Indian people that have actually said I don't like working with other Indian people. I had an Indian therapist.
Yeah.
Who was like, I don't like other Indian people, and I was like, bitch, you what?
Yeah. There's a lot of like it reminded me of like Jenny Jones used to have like those episodes where it's like self-hating like race whatever, and you just see like 100% you just see like black guys that like dressed as like Carlton saying like, oh, I don't like those type of people.
It's not unusual for me to not like that guy.
Yeah. It's not unusual for me to hate anyone who looks like me.
Because when you're self-loathing and you hate yourself, it's not unusual. It happens all the time. Fuck.
Yeah. Yeah, it's kind of like you said, you have like a lot of like, because there's a lot of voting blocks of like people that are like kind of supporting Trump, and a lot of them support him because of the fact where it's like, wait a minute, I have this job, I have this middle class thing, I have this house. I can't share and give it to everybody else because somebody else is going to come from across the border, is going to come in and take my job. going on. You start realizing that like the demographic that wants the wall the most is other Latino people.
Okay, can I tell you how I feel like this is a problem.
Sure.
Because it's like in Hollywood and even in our comedy scene.
Yeah.
Most comedy scenes, like the local ones, it's like there could be all kinds of white guys doing whatever the fuck white guys want to do.
Right.
But there's always the one hot girl comic. There's the one black guy comic, the one Indian comic, the one flavored comic. And if you have like multiple black people or multiple Indian people, then you're ranked.
Yeah.
Because we can only have the one at the time. And
also,
I feel like
if you have more than one of like that same thing, it ended up becoming those type of people shows.
See,
whereas like if you have a show lineup where there's like 3 white people and 2 white people and like 3 black guys, all of a sudden like it's branded as like a black show.
See,
even though it shouldn't
that's stupid. That's so fucking stupid. Also, go to the fucking shows. Go jump in there. Go figure out what's different.
Yeah.
Shit.
There's a lot of people like, oh, I don't go to that Latin show or that Latin comic, and it's more like, no, it's just a San Antonio show. It's not like a Mexican show.
Yeah.
Everything. It's just a San Antonio show that just happens to have people line up and everything. But then you also when you're like picking up a show, it's like, oh, I gotta pick one of every fucking race, and it's just more like, do I really want to do that? Or
you're not Brangelina. Calm the fuck down, you guys. Shit.
I gotta make
and
sure.
Angelina feels bad about life, all right?
Brangelina?
No, Brad left because I don't think he wants to feel sad anymore, but Angelina, her heart is fucking heavy.
Yeah.
She's exactly what we're talking about right now, where it's like, why me? Why did I get this and not this? And why does she not get the thing she's sad. That's why she adopted everybody. Yeah. That's why she does refugee work in Pakistan. Like, that bitch's heart's broken.
Okay. But that's an example of someone taking their shame and using it for a good cause.
Yeah, but what does that turn you into?
But still good cause.
But back to the other thing real quick.
Yeah.
I feel like, but I was saying that, like, that's how I feel when you meet an Indian person that's like, I don't like other Indian people, or you meet a Mexican guy that's like, I hate Mexicans. That's what it feels like, is what they're saying is, this is a white world, and there can only be one of us at a time to be in the spotlight. And that's bullshit.
Thank you for listening to the All Regerts podcast with Sam Narani and Omar Gonzalez. Remember this, just because you have regrets doesn't mean you cannot live life as if you have no regrets. Have a wonderful day.